This highlighted area of the Middle East is known as Mesopotamia. It covers parts of Southwest Asia and lands around the eastern Mediterranean Sea. World's leading Assyriologist Samuel Noah Kramer, in one of his influential works, History Begins at Sumer, published a list of 39 things that happened for the very first time in this world. This list includes first school, first war, first farmer's almanac, first love song, first job, first literary debate, and few more things. But the question is, where in this world did all this happen for the very first time? It was the region of Mesopotamia. My name is Hammad Rizvi, and today, within few minutes of this video, I'm going to answer 3 questions. What is the meaning of the term Mesopotamia? Where is Mesopotamia located? And why this region is so important in the history of humankind? So let's start right now. The term Mesopotamia formed from 2 ancient Greek words, meso and potamos. Meso means between or in the middle of, and potamos means river. Mesopotamia means the land between the 2 rivers. However, when we refer to the term ancient Mesopotamia, we generally mean the land between Euphrates and Tigris rivers. The term Mesopotamia was used throughout the Greek Septuagint. Earlier Greek usage of the name Mesopotamia is evident from the Anabasis of Alexander in the 2nd century, but it specifically refers to the sources from the time of Alexander the Great. Jews used another name, Aram Naharain, for this region. Arabs call it Biladul Rafidin. The term Mesopotamia is applied to all the lands between the Euphrates and the Tigris rivers, thereby incorporating not only parts of Syria but also almost all of Iraq and southeastern Turkey. A further distinction is usually made between northern or upper Mesopotamia and southern or lower Mesopotamia. Upper Mesopotamia, also known as the Jazira, meaning an island, is the area between the Euphrates and Tigris from their sources down to Baghdad. Lower Mesopotamia is the area from Baghdad to Persian Gulf, and it includes Kuwait and parts of western Iran. It was the Paleolithic era when humans first settled in the Mesopotamia. By 14,000 BCE, people in this region lived in small settlements with circular houses. 5,000 years later, these people started to domesticate animals and they developed the first agriculture and irrigation system. It was the Ubaid culture who dominated in the preliminary progress of agriculture. Ancient Mesopotamia was also home to the oldest civilizations of the world, including Sumerians, Akkadians, Assyrians, and Babylonians. These civilizations dominated Mesopotamia until the fall of Babylon in 539 BCE, when the Achaemenid Empire conquered it. In 332 BCE, it fell to Alexander the Great, and after his death, it became part of Greek Seleucid Empire. Later, Arameans dominated major parts of this region. Around 150 BCE, Parthian Empire got control of Mesopotamia, and then it became a battleground between Parthians and Romans. The western part of Mesopotamia went under the control of Romans, and the eastern part fell to Sassanid Persians. In 7th century, this region of the Middle East was under the control of Muslims. In today's Mesopotamia, Syria, Iraq, Turkey, and Kuwait all are Muslim states. Unlike the more unified civilizations of Egypt or Greece, Mesopotamia was a collection of varied cultures whose only real bonds were their script, their gods, and their attitude towards women. The social customs, laws, and even language of Akkad, for example, cannot be assumed to correspond to those of Babylon. It does seem, however, that the rights of women, the importance of literacy, and the pantheon of the gods were indeed shared throughout the region, though the gods had different names in various regions and periods. As a result of this, Mesopotamia should be more properly understood as a region that produced multiple empires and civilizations rather than any single civilization. Even so, Mesopotamia is known as the cradle of civilization primarily because of two developments that occurred there in the region of Sumer in the 4th millennium BCE. First, the rise of the city. Second, the invention of writing. Although writing is also known to have developed in Egypt, in the Indus Valley, and in China. Some historians believe that the invention of the wheel is also credited to the Mesopotamians. Other inventions of Mesopotamian civilizations include the domestication of animals, the sail, agriculture, sophisticated weaponry and warfare, common tools, wine, beer, the chariot, demarcation of time into hours, minutes, and seconds, and irrigation. Mesopotamia was known in antiquity as a seat of learning, and it is believed that Thales of Miletus, who was known as the first philosopher of the world, studied there, as the Babylonians believed that water was the first principle from which all else flowed, and as Thales is famous for that very claim, it seems probable he studied in the Mesopotamian region. Intellectual pursuits were highly valued across Mesopotamia, and the schools, which were devoted primarily to the priestly class, were said to be as numerous as temples, and taught reading, writing, religion, law, medicine, and astrology. There were over 1,000 deities in the pantheon of gods of Mesopotamian cultures and many stories concerning the gods. So this was a brief story of Mesopotamia. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing. In case if you want to know about Fertile Crescent, please click here. And if you want to know who invented mathematics, you can click here. And do not forget to follow us on social media. Links are given in the description. Take care. We'll meet you in the next video.